Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my last outdoor video for summer because it's getting very hot out. Unless it's surprisingly cool one day, then I'll start recording. I got the base 4 characters for Swap Force, the tech element. But let's move on to the video. We're going to be talking about Juneteenth. Something that was made up like 3 years ago in like 2020. Maybe 2019, I'm not certain, but I remember I was in school and I heard about it, and I'm like, what is that crap? And they're like, oh, it's this holiday where apparently all the slaves in America actually got freed, which I think the actual date is technically June 1st, 1863, and not June 19th, 1865. Which I had to look up on Google, and at that point, that's one of the topics they didn't just go weirdly biased on. I think my eyebrows might be a little higher for some reason. You know, I'm just going to deal with that problem, okay? So, we're going to talk about the weird issue about the fact that I think they just made up a holiday on the spot like they usually do, because I think Kwanzaa was like that because I think it was made in 1967. They literally just made it for some reason. I know I didn't exactly 100% research all this stuff, but I'm just gonna go with straight line memory about it because I was just doing my old usual YouTube thing where I'm just watching people's videos and not thinking about what video I should make. And I saw this one video from a Black Conservative Opinion, and he was talking about it, and I completely forgot Juneteenth was even a thing. And he was watching this video where they're basically twerking on people's cars and shooting at each other, and I'm like, that is the weirdest way to celebrate a holiday. Like, usually I just sit on the couch and watch a regular show on Christmas, you know, like that, and probably watch The Christmas Story or movies like that, but these people just go outside to work on cars and shoot each other. But, to the generalized fact about it, I'm like, why is this holiday still, like, relevant at all? Like, I think about it, like, I think for the past 5 years, people have just been creating fake holidays for whatever reason it serves them. Because I want to talk about the general fact that I don't think Juneteenth isn't really that much of a holiday. I don't think that many people even celebrate it. Nobody in my area celebrates it. No one in Kentucky celebrates it. No one around Kentucky celebrates it. It's only like maybe 3 states that do. That's like where DC is. I think that might have been in Virginia. So that's Virginia, New York, and California. Those are the only 3 states that celebrate it. Nowhere else. Nowhere. But the fact, I remember even 2 years ago, I asked people about it, and I told them that it's the exact same thing I'm saying now. I don't think Juneteenth is real. They got mad at me and told me that I'm not really, how do you say it? I'm not aware of their culture somehow, but I'm like, I think everybody would at least know a smidge about it because in class, before they started hyper-politicizing everything and actually went by real history, in history class, you'd be talked about how in the Jim Crow era, you know, when Democrats had power and all that business. I think most people would understand that, but during that era, I think when black people did the Democrats saw that as a problem and went, you know what, let's make that illegal or demonize it. And I was thinking, maybe that'd be a bit about how we know black culture from, you know, school, when history wasn't overly politicized and just rewound to be like, hey guys, George Washington was black. I'm like, no. But I actually thought about that, and I was thinking, if Juneteenth was actually a holiday, wouldn't it be in the 60s, like, say they made it up, and they're like, hey guys, let's go make Juneteenth. And then the Democrats caught wind of it, and they're like, no, let's demonize the crap out of it because black people made it, and we're going to say no. So, I would have heard about that much, much earlier because I hear about MLK, I wasn't ever taught about Malcolm X for whatever reason. You hear about Rosa Parks and the back of the bus fiasco. You just hear about all these things, but Juneteenth is not one of them. So I have a really big thing to say about it because I think it was made in 2019 to 2020, which is probably a weird time to make a holiday, but it go off. So I was talking to somebody about it. I think it was actually a black YouTuber who actually used to do Vine. I forgot his name, but I ended up getting into an argument with him. Actually, I think he was the guy that did the watermelon thing. Yeah, but I got into an argument with him. He told me, apparently, I don't know the holiday because, I'm not black. And he told me, well, black people have been celebrating this for years. I'm like, Cap. Because I have black friends, and I know a lot of black people, and they do not tell me they celebrate it or even know about it. I even knew, like, 3 of my friends in school. Just letting you know they're black. So they literally had no idea it existed, except for when Lamonte brought that up to me in class. I'm like, what the crap is a Juneteenth? And that's just how it is. It just came out of nowhere, like a lot of things. Usually, if you have a very keen eye for things and somehow put 2 and 2 together, people can then realize, oh yeah, that was coming anyways. But this is one of those things where there is no backdrop to this. I don't know who even made that up. Who made up Juneteenth and said somehow for a span of 2 years, the slaves never actually had an idea, after they're freed, to just walk out, just walk somewhere, do the natural human urge to explore. Just be like, you know what, I'll go north or south. Like, I would think that when some of the slaves were, released from, like, on 1863 when the Civil War ended, they'd just be like, you know what, I'm going to go somewhere. And that's it. They might not have much on their hands, but they can try working. Try going down, walking somewhere. I don't know about a cab, but I don't think that existed. So they probably just did the old thumbs up thing at the end of the road. It should be like, and then they picked them up, said, where you want to go? Be like, is there anything good in the north? I would think that would happen, but no, according to these people, that they just stood there and basically starved to death for 2 years, and they're like, oh yeah, let's move out, and that's it. Like, I'm not certain about how slavery, like, I think it would end on a mass tale, because in 1863, basically, how it said on Google, January 1st of that year, they immediately made slavery illegal. And so, if you're still doing it, I think they would be under arrested. And they cracked them down for 2 years. I would think that'd be something. But no, apparently for 2 years, there were secret slave fields. And all of a sudden, 2 years later, the North, who was literally fighting for it, just went, oh yeah, I forgot there's fields down there. Like, they don't just forget the reason why they fought in the first place. So Juneteenth is just disrespectful to those who actually, served in the Civil War. And in a weird way, it just seems like recreational history. Like, it's just painting out Northerners to be forgetful idiots, and I guess Southerners to be very advanced somehow. Just gotta make the Democrats look a little bit better. And somehow they were so stealthy they can hide thousands of slaves, like, in plantations that are like let's say a quarter of Alabama, like how that big. You cannot hide that, and they would see it eventually. So that ends up happening, and from their point of view, all of a sudden 2 years later, oh yeah, they just remembered, and they all got free 2 years later. I'm not exactly certain how, but that's their logic. So, I'm going to go be in the video here because it's 8 minutes, and I think I was either rambling, staring at a vehicle, or just stuck in dead space for like 5 seconds, but I just think about it, it's just stupid. It was made like 2 or 3 years ago, it basically re-introverts the idea of history, basically, changing a bit of the words and just going, oh yeah, the thing they fought for let's say 6 years just did nothing, and that just sounds stupid. Okay, I hope everybody has a good day, except for the weirdo who decided to make Juneteenth because apparently they are so ashamed of their own ancestry they had to make up days. But I hope you liked the video, and I guess have a day where you don't stub your toe. Adios.